There are 5 purchases that you can make that could turn $100 into tens of thousands of dollars over the course of your life. This applies to anyone at any age, whether in your 20s and you're just getting started, in your 30s, maybe you're starting a family and you want some extra income, or in your 40s, like myself, and beyond. The purchases that I'm going to share with you today have single-handedly been the best investments I've made, and I want to share those with you. Let's dive right in. We're going to start talking about side hustle setup. No matter the side hustle, whether you're driving for Uber or as a content creator, there's one purchase that you can make that can be the baseline for your success, and that's buying a business entity. Things like an LLC, a C Corp, or an S Corp. Most people are going to set up an LLC in their states where they live, but they might actually set it up in a different state. What are some of the advantages of setting up an LLC or a business entity? Well, there's things like liability protection, tax advantages, as well as just looking more professional, especially if you are somebody like a content creator who's working with other companies for sponsorship deals, as an example. It's just nice to look professional and have a business and a company that represents you. So when you're looking at setting up an LLC, for example, you're going to go to this state's website. You can just type in LLC in Colorado, in California, Florida. You're going to set up the LLC. It's going to cost about $50 to $100 depending on the state. And then you're going to want to set up what's called an EIN. An EIN is an employer identification number. And this is basically the tax ID for your business. So once you have the EIN, you're going to be using the LLC's information to set up the EIN. And then those two are going to be combined together. Then you're going to be able to set up things like a business checking account. This business checking account is where money should be going into from things you're getting paid from, whether that's affiliates, sponsorships, Uber, whatever companies are paying you, they're going to send that money into that business checking account to keep it separate from your personal stuff. And then you can set up things like credit cards for your business. One of the best things I ever did was setting up an American Express business gold card. This allowed me to get triple points on things like advertising costs for the business, whether that's Facebook or Google ads. Those are the really big expenses that can actually get triple points in some cases, even more. So there's a lot of advantages of having the credit cards for the business checking, and all of this can be very minimal cost to you for less than a few $100s to set up your business and to get it going. The next purchase that you can make has generated me hundreds of thousands of dollars in income, but also some incredible friendships and business partnerships along the way. This is going to be in-person conferences. Over the years, I've been to multiple conferences in different industries like finance, investing, digital marketing, entrepreneurship, and more. I've met some incredible people that we've become friends and still are to this day. But I've also got to meet the people that inspired me the most. People like Darren Hardy, who was sitting right in front of me at Traffic and Conversion Summit. I tapped on his shoulder and got a picture with him. I was much younger at that time. Also, Damon John, I got to meet him and talk with him for just a few minutes, and while he was signing my book at that conference. And then people like Richard Branson. Richard Branson obviously has been an inspiration to a lot of people, including myself, and got to hear him speak at multiple conferences. And then Pat Flynn. Pat Flynn put on an amazing conference called FlynnCon. It was actually, I think, his first conference that he set up. I was able to bring my daughter there, and she was able to take part and kind of see what I was learning. He made it a family experience, which was incredible. He even had an introvert zone, which was really fun because I'm an introvert. Pat's an introvert, and so he understood the plight of the introvert. We get drained when we're in a big group of people, but we get our energy when we're usually by ourselves. So that was really nice to see. And then we've got Capitalism Conference by Ryan Daniel Moran. I went to Texas and Austin to learn about tax strategies and learn from Brian Lee, which is the brains behind the Honest Company. Went to Legacy Investment Summit, and I got to meet Tika Tawari, which he's really well known in the crypto space and crypto investing space. So had I not been to these conferences, not only would I not have been able to meet some of the most inspiring people, but I also wouldn't have learned what I had learned, and I also would not have met some of the friends that I've generated over the years. The third purchase you need to make is invest in the tools that allow you to be more productive and make more money in your business. Over the years, I've owned multiple businesses, and I've done just that. This is an example where I had a golf business, and I wanted to take the average amateur and give them the same experience that the PGA Tour professional had. At the time, the TrackMan was the most advanced technology, and everyone was wanting to swing on it and see what their stats were. Basically, it's a radar technology that captures all the metrics from the swing to the ball and then the travel itself. So I bought this orange box, you can see right there, that was $25,000. Plus the TV that can display the stats, the generator to create the power, the table, the tent, all of that together was my business. And that allowed me to invest into the business to make more money and was expenses that I was able to write off on my taxes. Maybe you're a content creator, so you would be needing a camera, a microphone, lighting, the computer and the software to go with that. Or maybe you're a freelance website developer, so you need the computer and the monitor and the chair and the things that allow you to be more productive to make more money. Don't be afraid to invest in your business and treat it like a business. The fourth purchase that you need to make is to invest back into yourself with education and training so you can increase your skills. These are things like books, audiobooks, podcasts, and digital courses. So for me, it doesn't have to cost a whole lot of money, and I can prove it. Basically, a few years ago, I wanted to be a real estate investor. So I wanted to learn how to fix and flip homes. I wanted to learn how to do creative seller financing deals, maybe even wholesaling properties. So I just started listening to the Bigger Pockets podcast. Shout out to them. And I bought a few books from them. And basically for probably about less than $50, I was able to learn way more than most people. And I did this within a course of a few days. I went out and I started a company. We started doing letters to homeowners. And sure enough, we were able to acquire the first property. And then the next property we actually did seller financing. So we were able to utilize those tools. What I'm saying is investing into these tools and to learn the specific skills that you need in order to do the next thing in your business is by far the most valuable thing you can do for yourself over time. The fifth purchase you should make is buy a Uhaul truck or rent one or just move. Basically what I'm saying is get yourself out of an environment that you've maybe been stuck in for too long. For me, I had been in Colorado for nearly 40 years, and I decided about 5 years ago to move to Southern California, primarily for the weather, but one of the major benefits that comes with moving and putting yourself in a new environment is new friendships. You're more creative. You start thinking of things that maybe you had not thought of before. You expose yourself to new business opportunities, perhaps. There's a lot of things that can come positive from moving or getting yourself out of an environment that you've been in for maybe too long. So those are the 5 purchases that I would recommend anyone who wants to make more money. And if you followed step number 1 or purchase number 1, remember the business entity, that LLC we talked about? Well, if you set that up, then all of those other purchases, those become business expenses. And do you know what happens with a business expense? It reduces your taxable income. But I'm not a tax attorney or a tax accountant, so you're going to want to talk with one of them. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like, subscribe, do the things. I appreciate you for sticking around. And then if you want to watch this video about making more income in 2024, learning the high income skills,